people up here. Wow. Okay. Well, in order for you to really understand the Davis High class of 2010, let me tell you a little bit about my experience these past 4 years. I remember the first time I heard Vice Principal Ginsmer say it. The letters in Davis stand for diversity, academics, vision, integrity, and Spartan service. I was a freshman, and I could care less about what the letters in Davis stood for. I was more concerned about the zit on my face that was keeping me talking from girls. I was nervous and excited about starting high school. I didn't know what to expect. That year I played tackle football for the first time in my life, and was able to make friends before the school year started. The freshman team went undefeated that year, as I recall. However, my freshman anxieties got the best of me, and I continually worried about my social standings. What had I gotten myself into? The seniors seemed huge, and we really were fresh meat. But somehow, we managed to navigate the 9th grade waters. We survived tardy sweeps, our first high school dance experience, homecoming, STAR testing, and somehow we came out of it none the worse for wear. At that time, the letters in Davis stood for debacle, antiperspirant, verbal abuse, insomnia, and somber. Our sophomore year rolled around and I found myself walking with my head a little bit higher because I was no longer a freshman. I looked down on the immature 9th graders like the untouchables of the high school caste system. I mean, come on, we were sophomores now. I mean, we're way cooler than them. I witnessed my fair share of firsts that year, and I remember the daily oddities I often stumbled across in the boys' restroom in the government wing each day. The typical graffiti markings and cigarette butts garnished the floor and walls, both becoming a regular part of the student decor found inside. On any given occasion, one could find a variety of objects strewn about. However, there was one case in particular that topped all others. I was taking my usual bathroom break during 4th period and entered the restroom. The stench of smoke burned my nostrils as I went in. Only this time, it didn't smell like cigarette smoke. It smelled like smoke, like something was on fire. It was then that I opened the door to one of the stalls to find the entire toilet seat engulfed in flames.
What is that?
I think I'm one of the few students who have had the chance to pull the fire alarm and not get in trouble for it. Once again, as sophomores, we survived the KC, the library. We no longer were allowed to buy candy and soda on campus. The occasional fistfight occurred, and, oh yeah, STAR testing. By the end of my sophomore year, the letters in Davis stood for demystified, acne, vocal, intimidated, and single. Before you knew it, it was our junior year. At the start of the school year, let's just say confused was a regular part of my mindset. That was about the time I started to develop opinions of my own on a number of topics. Swamped with tests and the pressure to start planning for college, I intentionally wiped the memory of my junior year from my head as soon as it was over. Most of us were juggling the demands of school, home, part-time jobs, cell phone bills, and never enough food or sleep. It was the year of chemistry labs, driver's licenses, a new president, and of course, STAR testing. Somehow, someway, through the haze of what was our junior year, most of us grew more self-assured and confident, some more compassionate, some more self-centered. My junior year, the letters in Davis stood for dazed, adversity, valuable, influence, and self-determination. Finally, senior year arrived. Where had the time gone? It was weird to think that we 12th graders were now the top dogs on campus. Anyone below us was now invisible, unworthy, and expected to be subservient. I had to keep buying new hats for my ever-swelling head. But it wasn't until partway through the year that I began to realize how this was it. There was no more next year. No more opportunities to hang out with friends in the quad or be a part of the rooting section at basketball games. No more rallies. No more dances. No more being a kid. My life as a high schooler would soon be over. I began to look at things differently, enjoying the little things that were often taken for granted in years previous. I'm going to miss Davis. I'm going to miss it on a number of levels. Maybe not the bumpy walls or rows of dilapidated lockers, but the important things. Those who mattered the most. The people. From teachers to staff to classmates and underlings. The experts say that no more than 4% of this graduating class will ever be assembled in the same place at the same time after tonight. We will all go our separate ways, but I can't help believe that we will all be better people, living richer, fuller lives because of the investment made in us by so many. As seniors, we don't remember the shuttle blowing up, 8-track tapes, full-service gas stations, or a time when our country wasn't at war. But someday, we will look back at where we've gone and hopefully remember that we served our country in the military, that we raised families who loved each other, that we persevered through tough economic times, that we saw justice in our world and moved to make it right, that we chose to forgive when wronged, that we mourned with those who mourned, and rejoiced with those who rejoiced. Someday, when I'm sitting where all of you are, I may not remember all the crazy episodes I've shared with you today, but I will remember the good things that happened here, the times we shared that are making us who we will be tomorrow. As a senior, the letters in Davis stood for destination, adventure, vigor, inspiration, and sentimental. Thank you.